Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, it's something that's not so old, depending on how old you are. But still, it's more recent and kind of fun. Take a look a little bit at this. This is W.I.T.C.H. That's W period, I period, T period, C period, H period. It's a series of comics, graphic novels, and an animated series. And you can see this graphic novel here. It is there we go. It is actually originally an Italian comic franchise created by Elisabetta, is it Gnone or Noni, something like that, Alessandro Barbucci, and Barbara Canepa. Oh, sorry for butchering those names. And it is a comic series. It features 5 teen girls, 13-year-old girls, who are the guardians of classical elements: earth, air, fire, and water. And because they needed 5, they threw in energy. They are protectors of the mythical realm of Kandrakar, and they must learn to use their new magical powers and responsibility, as well as dealing with adolescence. And it draws strong artistic inspiration from Japanese manga, which you'll see there. And it was first published by Disney Italy in 2001. By 2005, it had reached 65 countries, and the final issue was released in 2012 for a total of 139 issues, and then compiled into graphic novels here. And it was from 2004 to 2006, there was a French-American animated TV series, of course, based on this property, published by Disney. Now, from what I understand, this is not a Disney-owned property. It is Disney licensed, and it was published through Disney. From what I understand, in later, towards the end of the run, there was some kind of a lawsuit, and they broke with Disney to finish the original run of this. And this, show you right here. Okay, this here. Oh, I forgot to get her over here so she can. Like, I had never heard of. I'd never seen the series. I got this little figure right here. I think it was from a Happy Meal, I think. I don't know. And several years ago, I got this graphic novel, I should say graphic album. It's from 2005, Disney. And you can see some really nice artwork, nice colors, production stuff. And this is, like I said, like 2005. This happens to be volume 2. And it mentions the translation by. So all this stuff would have been originally published in Europe, probably originally in Italian, which probably explains all the Vespa scooters I see in it, and such. And then, yeah, it's nice. It is for tweens and young teens. It's cute, it's fun, wholesome. Unless you're some kind of radical and think of the magical stuff as satanic, but it's fantasy. It's sure just fantasy. Okay, and then this is the one we're going to go looking through. Is this here, which was a freebie from Halloween Comic Fest, wherever the heck that is, which I recently got out of the dollar bin. I like that cover illustration. You can see it has some strong manga influence in the art. It is cutesy, the big eyes and everything. And then ads on the back for the books. This is as the 2018, but this actually reprints the very beginning, the origin story. So we're to take just a brief look at this. I'm not going to go too deeply into the story itself. There we go. Wants to flop that close shut. There we go. See the pretty artwork. Of course, it is black and white, but it was originally published in. Since it is a freebie, it's understandable. Since it is originally done in color. Halloween, and this was for Halloween Comic Fest, so it was appropriate because the story begins at Halloween time. And one thing I forgot to mention is that the witch in the title comes from the initials of the 5 little girls. That's Will, Irma, Tarani, Cornelia, and Wei Lin. And you see they have wind up with some kind of costumes. And it starts in the Kandrakar, and they're talking about it's time for the Guardians to appear. And here's all this. This is just a dream that Will's having. She's moving to a new town, starts school the next day, and you can see the nice artwork for the cityscapes, the rain, all this other stuff. But there are some evil-looking figures around here. And again, you can see how nicely done that artwork is, as Will is late for her first day of school at this new school, but she makes some friends, and we meet some of the other girls who become her friends when we find out that some of them they're displaying just little bits of magic, but they're kind of they don't understand why. Wait till she sees what I can do, and they don't understand it. Here they are making friends, and they got they're introduced to some bullies, and we see supposed to be a Halloween party, and Will is not prepared for a Halloween costume, and here she is. Oh, the little Asian girl here with her grandma knows more about what's going on. This other little girl's having a bath, and she's playing around with the little bit of magic that she's got. Oh, it's magical, making water do things. Irma, and then splash. Her dad's yelling at her. Okay, and here we go. After school or whatever, and Irma is riding her bike home, but she notices, and she's deep in thought, and she notices right here as she goes by this old bookstore, seeing her reflection in the glass. What? Here is her reflection, but it's not her. It's a reflection of her in different clothing, and then it shows it again right here, better view. In different clothing, with wings, and she was flying in the reflection. And her reflection is a little bit older, because all these girls are 13 years old at the time, and in the reflection she appears to be about 15. And yada yada yada. Learn a little bit more about the girls at home, doing costumes, their families. See if I can even get the thing open. And here we see, this is another one. Some of the girls are already at the party in their little costumes, and Will is running late, still trying to come up with a costume just from stuff that she's got. She's trying to get dressed, and then she sees her reflection again in the mirror. But this time, her reflection is dressed in what she is wearing here. But again, you can see that she's taller and older in the reflection. She says, "What's going on?" And then her mother interrupts, trying to hustle her along. And then she sees that her reflection is back to normal, and she says, "Must be her imagination." Da, 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 da. And here are the girls, and they're making friends. Turns out one of the girls, there is a prophecy. One of the girls, because here there are 6 girls as friends, one of them will betray the others. Whether that is intentional or not, and here we see, since it's Halloween, these weird-looking people get into this party with no problem, because they look, except this guy, he's older, but this one is, that's what he really looks like, but they just think it's a costume. And then, but there are some pranksters. At one point of the party, they supposed to light the big jack-o'-lantern they have set up outside, but the bullies are pulling a prank, and they put a bunch, not just fireworks and road flares in there. So crap hits the fan. The more evil people are beginning to reveal themselves, going after the girls, because they know they're the guardians. The girls don't know what the heck's going on, and the explosions, stuff happening, and the girls' magic manifests itself, and they are protecting themselves and the crowd from all the hoopla that's going on. And then suddenly, oh, what's going on? Halloween's over, but what happened? We don't know. And the one girl, I've forgotten her name, Elian. She was asked to come see this fellow she met at the party, who was obviously much older. And they think everyone thinks it's a date, but it's not a date. It's some kind of coercion and because it's a trap being set for the Guardians. And at this point, Elian doesn't know anything about this stuff. But whether the betrayal is intentional or unintentional, it is not revealed. But he's actually a magical villain. And the Asian granny reveals that she knows what's going on with the girls with their magic. She has this bauble here, and reveals what's behind all this, and the like. Just talks a little bit, informs them a little bit about the magic, and then there's a trap. The girls are supposed to go meet their other friend, and it's a trap. The demon-looking fella snatches them. The girls' power manifest, and then they are transformed, whoop whoop whoop, into our witchy group with their wings and their little costumes and their elemental powers, and there they are manifested, and they are here in their what appears to be their 15-year-old bodies. But they're trying to figure out they're fighting back, trying to figure out, and I can't get the page to turn. Trying to figure out what's going on, trying to save themselves. Whoop. And here that tall, mysterious, good-looking fellow, this is what he really looks like. Who are you? Said, it is not yet time, Vethek. And poof, poof, poof. There he is. His demon companion is swept back into their own realm. But he's there, and he transforms back. And then we see at the end of this story the girl who betrayed them. Again, we don't know whether that was intentional or not. Somehow she was coerced, and the girls are transformed back. And now, then that is the beginning of our witchy quintet. Oh yeah, that's a lot of fun. And it is very, very kid-friendly. And kid-friendly art, and I like the art. Very, very nice art. A very smooth and quick-paced storytelling technique in here. Because as long as it is, and it read fairly quickly, and I'm sure tween girls will just love it. But I enjoyed it too. It's just a lot of fun. Some lovely artwork. It's well written, well produced all around, and I'm sure part of that has to do with the Disney backing. And so that's it. Have you ever heard of this comic before? Well, let me know. Before, all I had ever seen was this graphic novel. I got that, and that's all I had ever seen until I relatively recently got this. That, and of course, that figure right there. And for a long time, I didn't even make the connection. I just liked that little figure. And so, have you read it? Have you seen the show? I've never seen the show. I just presumed that it was on the Disney Channel here. But have you ever seen or heard of the show? Have you seen any of the other versions of the comics? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. So please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know what I don't know. Thank you for joining me. And remember, comics are art.